Good morning, class. Okay, so today we are going to talk about what is the difference between raster graphics and vector graphics. So before we continue our topic this morning, we're going to have an attendance. So is anyone absent around? Is anyone absent today in our online class? Okay, perfect. No, everyone is present. Okay, okay. Yeah. So um, okay. So before we continue, I would like to introduce myself. I am Niket Carion de la Rea, and I will be your instructor for this morning to talk about what is the difference between raster graphics and vector graphics. Okay, so in this topic, we're going to have our objectives. So we have to know the difference between the raster graphics and vector graphics. Second, we have to identify what are the file types for these kinds of graphics. Third, we have to know what kind of software we have to use or we are going to use in this specific graphic designing. Okay. So, any questions before we continue our topic this morning? Okay, very good. So let's continue. Okay. So we are going to I'm going to ask you what is a raster image, no, or raster graphics. Okay, anyone? Yes, Sandra. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. May sit down. Very good. Okay. So raster image is also known as a bitmap. No? It is generally what we are thinking of image. So these are the type of images that are produced, okay, that are produced when scanning or having a photographing an object. Okay. So raster image is compiled or are compiled. No? Raster image are compiled with lots of pixels or tiny dots. Okay, so anyone, can you tell me what is a vector image or vector graphics? Okay, anything? Okay. Um, Princess. Okay, thank you. Uh huh. Okay, very good. You may sit down. Okay, so vector graphic is an image. It is an image of form in the computer graphics. It is a set of a mechanism for creating a visual images directly into a geometric figure. Yeah. So if we're going to define a geometric figure, it is a cylinder, trapezoid, cube, etc., etc. But uh, vector image is a um, vector image is a mathematical procedure, no, or mathematical process that converts lines into um, a specific math. So each plane that we are going to create, such as lines, curves, and polygons, that is converted into a vector image. So we don't have to solve any mathematical problem to convert a math problems into a vector. Let the software do that for you. Okay? So we have 5 types of raster files. Okay? So first is we have our JPEG. Okay, so what is JPEG? Okay, so very good. So JPEG, it is a joint photographic export. It is a commonly known uh, file extension name, file name for an image. Next is what we have our GIF. So GIF stands for, okay, very good. Graphic interchangeable format. It is animation of image. Okay, very good. Okay, what is a PNG? Yes, Jason. Okay, very good. Portable network graphics. So PNG is a much larger and much richer than JPEG. No? It also converts our, we can also make our image into a transparent background. Next is what we have our TIF or TIFF. So what is TIFF stands for? Okay, sorry, nice try. Anyone? Okay, so okay, okay, so tagged image file format. So tagged image file format, it is mostly converted into a digital photography such as mirrorless camera, or what we have if we have a DSLR camera, that is mostly the mm, um, file extension name. Next is what we have our SVG. No, so anyone? Okay, no, SVG is not a um hindi siya ganun ka-familiar, no? Okay, so SGV is a scalable vector graphics, also known as for different kinds of situation that we can use, no, such as 3D modeling. No? So if we're going to have our 2D logo and we're going to convert it into a 3D model, so it has to be a scalable vector format. So para hindi mahirapan mag-convert ang ating software into 3D. Okay, so we don't have any things para hindi na mahirapan, para hindi natin mahirapan. Okay, yun. So let's move forward. Okay. So so for us, we have to recognize the scale up from raster logo to a vector logo. So as we zoom into a raster logo, no, we notice a specific of pixels that came that lumalaki pag zoom in. Unlike the vector logo, no? Vector logo, once we scaled up or we zoom in, it is precisely a smooth finishing curve. We don't see any kinds of pixels around it. So we have an example here between the logo and a image, no, or character image. So between a scale up and the original from raster image and a vector logo scaled up and a uh, raster logo na mas raster logo, vector and raster logo. Okay. So we have three most important difference when it comes to raster and vector. So first is we have our pixels versus math. Okay. So pixel versus math, since the raster image are compiled or compromised in different color pixel arranged from its image, that we cannot scale up with a specific we cannot scale up without any sacrificing its quality. Now, if we're going to enlarge a vector, now if we're going to scale up a raster logo, now, it has a pixelate and it will become much blurry. Unlike the vector logo, if we're going to scale up, a it will have a much precise lining when it comes to its vector. For has a raster image, it is all of images, and when it comes to vector images, it's all in the math. Okay. Okay. So true to life graphics, no? True to life graphics is a minute of blending colors, shadings, shadows, gradients, and etc. It will make it possible to get a um, new to life representation within its photographs. Okay, with vectors. Sorry. Okay, next naman is we have our file type sizes, no, in every software that we are currently using, no, that we have a specific file type and file sizes. So although the Adobe Illustrator or CorelDRAW or Inkscape actually open the JPEG, GIF, PNG, and Photoshop document, no, it's all convertible into their software. But in every software that we are using, there is a specific file type and file sizes, specific software to its files. So we're going around. Okay. So for a vector software, no. So vector software, we have an example here. So we have a Adobe Illustrator, CorelDRAW, and Inkscape. That is a vector type software. So we have our vector type file type. We have our CorelDRAW or just CDR. Adobe Illustrator, we have our AI, EPS, SVG, and PDF. And also, if we have a Photoshop, no, Photoshop and GIMP, no, it is more on image manipulation when it comes to a Photoshop and GIMP. So we have our JPEG, GIF, PNG, PSD, or we have our Photoshop document, our TIFF. Most likely, as we said earlier, TIFF, it is a okay, very good. Thank you. TIFF, it is a muchly used in DSLR or a mirrorless image. Mirrorless camera. Hey, so next is we have our raster graphics editor. No? So we have our paid software and we have our free software within it. So if we don't have any budget, so we can use the free software that we have. No? We have our Bing and GIMP and Pixlr X. So if we have our budgets for a paid software, we have our Adobe Photoshop and Corel Painter and Corel Paint Shop Pro. Okay. So next naman is we have our vector graphics editor. So vector graphics editor, of course, we have our paid software and we have our free software. So of course, if we don't have any budget, again, we have to be flexible within it. So we have our Canva, no, we have our Inkscape, we have our Figma. I'm sorry. And so if we have our budget, so we have to put a lot of effort when it comes to paid software para di masayang. We don't have para di siya masayang. So we have our Adobe Illustrator, CorelDRAW, of course Canva. Canva is have a pro and free. Figma and SketchUp. So raster and image vector, no? Can you tell in this image that we are na ipapakita ko sa inyo that can you tell me if it's raster or vector? Okay? Okay, so first image. Okay, very good, Hector. It is a vector. Next image. What do we have our image here? Okay, so it is a raster graphics. Okay, thank you. Next, what we have our, of course, as we have seen, it is all pixelated. It's a raster graphics. Okay, very good, class. Okay, next is we have our, yes, I know it's tiny from Dota. Okay, so what we have here, it is, what class can you say about our image? Except it is from Dota 2. Vector or raster? Okay, vector. Thank you, Drake. Very good. So, when should you use raster or vector? In our point of view, the much possibly, it is the Photoshop. Although, as we all know, that Photoshop, it is more likely having a image manipulation, no? It's mostly image manipulation, but most artists using Photoshop has their vector, but it is not recommended, but you can use it as a vector for those. So as an artist, we have to be flexible in any kinds of software that we are using, no matter it is paid or free, no matter what is Adobe or Corel or Pixlr, GIMP or Inkscape. We have to be flexible in this kind of generation or softwares. Okay. So do you have any questions regarding to our topic this morning? Okay, none. So get one for sheet of paper. Okay. So we have our little quiz just for today, this morning. So it is a very, very easy quiz. We have our five. Okay. So quiz number one. What is a raster graphics? The answers only. Answers only. Okay. Question number two. What is a vector graphics? Okay. Thank you. Question number three. What is JPEG stand for? Okay. Okay, next. Okay, finish. Okay, next. So what is PNG stand for? Okay, next. Lastly, what is GIF stands for? Okay, everybody finish? Ball pens up, pencils up. Okay, so here are the answers for our quiz. So may I see who got the perfect score? Okay, very good for our class. We have our perfect score. And again, you can you can reach me through uh, messenger, Facebook messenger, or you can email me to my email address, or if you can see me in the faculty, you can you can reach me there if you have any questions regarding to our topic this morning, or if you have a to consult something in your arts, uh, you can approach me. Okay. So again, okay. So do you have any questions regarding to our topic this morning? Okay, very good. So again, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a very good day. And again, class dismissed.